Hi, this is Sweet June 2010. How's everybody doing today? Hoping everybody's having a blessed Monday. Monday is usually the hardest day of the week. But I say once you can get past Monday, you can skate through the rest of the week. I'm just so upset to hear about all these police shootings. Some more police shootings is taking place in Baton Rouge, and I just wish they would stop doing that because that's not the answer. Violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer, and I just really wish they would stop because it's just going to make the situation worse. You know, cops are going to have more of an itchy trigger finger, and then you know how they stereotype us. They're going to be thinking every black person is out to shoot them. So I don't know. These shooters, I don't know where they get off thinking. I don't know what their train of thought is, but they're not thinking because they're making things worse for the rest of us. And I wish they really stop with all this police shootings because violence is never the answer. Violence is just going to make things worse. And so I just pray, we all need to pray that some changes will come and there will be more peace, you know, in these end times. Um, we are close to the very end of the system, so, but we all need to pray. And my heart goes out to the families, all the families and everything. Well, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. Um, what I wanted to talk about is something I've been marinating on. Because racism is a big issue. Um, I think the good thing about all this is that people are actually talking. People are now talking about racism now. White people and black people are talking about it, and a lot of white people seem to think that we need to stop talking about it. No, we need to talk about it more because more people need to be aware of racism and the effects that it has. Racism affects us all. It doesn't just affect black people, but it affects them as well. I mean, look at the cops that have gotten shot. Now, they're going to have, there's children that's going to be without father, women that's going to be without a husband, family members that lost their loved ones. So ultimately, it affects everybody. So everybody needs to be concerned about racism. And the good thing that comes out of all this tragedy is that now people are talking about it. People are actually having conversations and people are talking about it. And so maybe we can come to a solution. I pray to God that there's not a race war. I pray to Jehovah God there's not a race war. Anyway, I was doing a lot of brainstorming and I was thinking about how I talked about in some of my other videos about black people not sticking together, not coming together and not collectively sticking together, killing each other, you know, and just being against all this colorism and everything that's going on in the black community and just totally being against each other and we're not sticking together. Um, and I know a lot of black people are going to be pissed off at me for saying this. You might call me a coon or whatever you want to call me. Call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for supper. Call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. This is an old joke. Anyway, but you know, I'm about keeping it real on here. I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything because it's too much happening out here. It's too much going down out here for me to be sugarcoating anything, sweeping everything under the rug. You know, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm passionate about what's going on in the black community. I love my people. I love everybody, but I really love my people. And I want us to see us do better as a race of people. I want to see us do better. I want us to be happy. I want us to be prosperous. You know, I want us to be successful. You know, I want us to be unified. I want us to not to stop all the killings, and I just want us to be unified as a people, like we supposed to be, like our people was back in the day. You know, and so that's what I want for the black race. I want us to be unified. I want us to stick together. Pooling our monies together and starting business and corporations and starting another Black Wall Street, you know, and protect it to where can't nobody come in and break it down. You know, there's power in numbers, so we all come together, you know. But we got to stop all this gender war between black men and women. We got to stop all this colorism. We got to stop all this brothers killing brothers. We got to sisters being against sisters. We got to stop all this, black people. We got to stop. We have to stop it. Because we're not doing each other any good. And I was doing a lot of marinating, and I was thinking that white people are not going to change until we change. Now I know that's what a lot of you don't want to hear, but I'm going to speak the truth. Because my kids, I got 2 sons. I love both of them to death. I lay down my life for them. I love them with all my heart. But when they wrong, I'm going to let them know that they wrong. If they're in the wrong about something, I'm going to let them know straight up that they wrong. Okay? I might love you to death. But if you wrong, you're wrong. And I'm gonna speak the truth. I love you, but you're wrong. And so I love my people, but my people are wrong in a lot of ways. Okay? So call me a coon or whatever you want to call me, but I love my people. And I want what's best for my people. I want to see us prosper. I want to see the black race thrive. And white people will change when we change. Unless we start making changes, then they will change. And they will have more respect for us. First of all, we need to start sticking together. Stop killing each other. Stop bashing each other and putting each other down. Start helping each other. Fathers, start being there for your kids. Mothers, start being closer to your children and stop doing things that are detrimental to your children. You know, if you need some mental help, go get it. Don't let it get to the point to where you're ready to snap on your kids. Stop the drugs. Stop the alcohol abuse. If you need counseling, go get it. You know, do what you got to do in that area. Black men, stop bashing black women. Black women, stop bashing black men. You know, we need to be better parents to our children. You know, so that the generations can grow up and they can be prosperous and successful and all that. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and all that. And economically, we need to pool our resources together. It starts by coming together as a community. We got to unify in love. We got to unify in love and coming together as a community. And then once we start doing that, you know, we got to start coming together collectively with love and all that. And then once we start doing that, we're going to build our foundation. And then we can start pooling our resources together economically. Instead of always running to the white man, asking him for a job, asking him for loans and all this kind of stuff, we can start getting those things. We can get our own money. You know, I seen a bank, you know, they closed my branch of bank that was closer to my house. They closed that particular branch. And now it's empty. And I was passing by it one day and I was like, shoot, what does it take to open up a bank? I said, wouldn't that be wonderful? I would be the first, if I opened a bank, it would be the first black owned bank in my city. It would be the first black-owned bank in my city. So black people could come and bank at my bank. Well, I went to Googling it. And then I realized it's a lot. It takes a lot to open up a bank. You know, you got to go through all kind of, a little bit of the information I read. I didn't go through and read it all, but it says you got to go through federal regulations. You got to be cleared by the government. It's a lot of things that you have to go through. It's a lot of steps, a lot of red tape, and it's a lot of steps federally that you have to go through before you can open up a bank. You know, it's not opening up a bank is not like any other business where you can go in and get a business loan, or you can get, or even get investors, and then you can just go ahead and just open up your business. It's a little bit more complicated with a bank, because bank you have to go through the federal government, and they have to give you a clearance, and you know you got to be able to say beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can be trusted with other people's money. You know, holding other people's money and things like that. So you got to go through there's a lot of federal regulations and things like that you have to go through. I was kind of reading up on the information, and I was like, and after I read it, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. But more black people do need to open up banks. It's worth going through the process. You know, we need to start our own infrastructures, you know, opening up more business, not just small business, but major corporations. We need to have more major corporations on a mass level, not just here and there, but on a mass level. So we will put white people in a position to where they have to come to us and ask us for a job on a mass level. I'm not talking about here and there. I'm talking about on a mass level, that they have to come in and ask us for a job. See, that's when racism, it ain't going to be eliminated, but it would be minimized quite a bit. If we get to a place to where we start owning more businesses, more major corporations, start opening up more black-owned banks, we can have a Black Wall Street all over the country. Not just in a Pacific area, but we can have it all over the country, collectively. If we all just stick together. So then when other black people want to open up a business, they can go to the black-owned bank and try to get their stuff approved. As long as they got all the credit and the business plans and all that kind of stuff that they have to start this business, and or be able to show the bank that, you know, they're good for a loan. Okay, I'm not saying you should give a handout just because this person's black, but you know, all things considering, they would be looking at what's on paper as opposed to looking at your race. That element would be eliminated if you go to a black-owned bank, and they'll be looking at just what's on paper. You see if you qualify for this loan. If you don't qualify, they'll tell you what you can do to get qualified for the loan. Okay? So that's what we need to start doing as black people on a mass level. See? We need to start more major corporations, more businesses, and when we get those corporations and businesses, we don't need to be selling those corporations and businesses to white people, because you're putting that stuff back into the white community. You want to keep it in the black community. That's the only way that we're going to grow economically, is keeping it in the black community. If you sell it to the white people, then you're putting it right back into their community. Like the guy that owned BET, that really made me mad and made a lot of black people mad when he sold BET to Viacom. Well, now the white people own it. So you put BET back into the white community when you should have kept it in the black community. See? Should have told them, no, it's not for sale. I don't care how much money they was talking about. See? But see, it's you know, They figure if you're silly enough to sell the business, they'll take it. It's a power thing. A lot of racism is a lot of it is about power. It's about money and power. And you know, and the thing is, in a perfect world, if this was a perfect world, all the races of people would come together. In a perfect world, all the races of people would come together, because at the end of the day, it's only one race, and that's the human race. All the races of people would come together collectively and build up infrastructures and things like that, to the point to where there would be no poverty. There would be no poor people in this country. Everybody, the playing field would be level, and there will only be two classes, and that would be middle class and upper class. There wouldn't be any poor people or people living in poverty. There wouldn't be no need for food stamps or nothing like that, because there wouldn't be anybody living in poverty if all the races of people, I'm talking about all the races of people, would come together and build economically, and everybody got the same opportunities and the playing field is level. Well, unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. In the new order, it'll probably be that way, but not in this system. The system that we're living in now is that every race of people is looking out for their own. See, white folks is looking out for their own. Hispanic people are looking out for their own. Asian people are looking out for their own, and so on and so forth. The Indians are looking out for their own because they got the casinos and stuff. So see, they looking out, good looking out for their people. Black people, we are the only race of people that are divided. We're the only race of people that don't look out for each other, that don't stick together. And as a result, we have suffered economically. As a people, we have suffered economically because we cannot stick together. We can't stick together for nothing. We're coming on YouTube and bashing. Well, I'm not doing it, but we're coming on YouTube bashing black men, black women, because black women are doing it too. It ain't just the black men. The black women are doing it too. How's that working out for us? How far is that getting us? That's not getting us very far. Economically, on a hierarchy of economics, we're way at the bottom because we refuse to come together. We so busy pitting against each other. We're like crabs in a bucket, always pulling each other down, when we should be helping each other instead of judging each other. Instead of being in judgment of each other, we need to be helping each other. These black men out here that see a fatherless boy out here, mentor that little boy. Mentor him. You see that he doesn't have a dad. Mentor him. Instead of talking trash about his mom, mentor him. Be a father figure to him. If black men start doing that on a collective level, you ain't got to have a relationship with the mom to mentor a little boy. Well, you ever heard of Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization? Well, that's like a mentoring program where you become a big brother or a father figure to a fatherless child. What's wrong with that? See? Instead of sitting up there judging and talking trash about the mother that's doing the best she can, why don't you mentor her sons? You see that they don't have a father, you mentor them. You be a father figure to them. You don't have to have a relationship with the mom to do that. But, a lot of black men don't want to even do that. They don't want to do it. They're so busy talking trash about the mom. How she can't raise. No, black women can't raise boys. We can't teach a boy how to be a man. I don't understand how they expect us to do that. A woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. Only a man can teach a boy how to be a man. See? People, they're doing that in other communities. In other communities, they're doing that. They see a fatherless boy, they come in and mentor the little boy. And be like a father figure. They're doing that in other communities. You're not doing it in the black community. And that's our problem. Black people, we need to start coming together. Collectively. White people will change when we change. I'm going to do a part 2 to this, so stay tuned. This is Sweet June 2010.